So if you guys haven't heard from 896 other channels, we got ourselves some news. Starting off with the thing we know the most about, Stygian Zinogre. First off, I see a lot of people that have brought out the reskin anger, and I totally understand that. In base world, I wasn't really impressed with the subspecies very much, but in Iceborne, I can't really think of any subspecies that I don't really like. So if Stygian Zinogre is treated with the same care, I'm cool with it. You can see that it shares a lot of moves and tactics with Zinogre, but there's a few moves like the moving lightning attack and charge attack that they've thrown in to make things a little more interesting. I completely see why people don't like the whole reskin thing, but honestly, if they didn't do things like this, we wouldn't be able to get new content as frequently as we have. With World being my first jump into the Monster Hunter series, I searched for any kind of clue as to what the armor will look like and what the hunting horn will be like. The stuff I found was from 4U, and first off, if the armor looks even anything close to what it looks like in this image, I'll definitely be satisfied. Looking at the hunting horn, of course it's a color variant to the Zinogre horn, which is not a bad thing at all, and a color change that I thoroughly like. Looking at the songs it has, it seems like it'll share a song set with the likes of Basil, and as I've said with everything else, I'm cool with that. And I mean, guys, just look at that description. How could you not want to rock out with this thing? Highly looking forward to grinding this one out and reviewing it for you guys immediately. Moving on to something we know a little less about, we have the new, I would assume, Elder Dragon that will be making its way to Iceborne. From the look of it alone, I'm hyped. I've read people saying something about it being an adult Xeno or being Xeno related, but I couldn't imagine that they would implement two subspecies and no actual new monsters. Especially since it said a new monster was the cover feature of this update. There's not too much you can really speculate from this little teaser. I mean, it was pretty much it, just kind of like flapping its wings, but I'm glad. I enjoy going into fights as blind as possible, and if that means karting over and over and over again until I learn the mechanics, then that's great. The design and color of the new dragon is dope, and I'm looking forward to taking it on and finding out what songs we have that will help hinder its abilities and take away its advantages. On the topic of new monsters though, I did seem to notice something that World is missing, thanks to some threads on Reddit. Bugs. We don't have any big bugs to smash on, and I feel like Capcom is missing out on bringing something absolutely beautiful to Monster Hunter World. Beetle or scorpion-like monsters could easily fit in the Ancient Forest or Wildspire. Then I did some research, and I found some extremely cool existing monsters that I wouldn't mind at all making their way to World. The first one I came across was the Celtis Queen, and I have to say, watching the mechanics of this fight, it would be awesome to have the Celtis Queen in World. Especially being in a group and taking her on, it would be a blast. Looking at the different armors, they seem pretty cool, and one looks like a Gundam, so that's definitely a plus. The other bug monster that I came across seems pretty awesome too. Nerscylla, particularly the shrouded Nerscylla. Right from the jump, I read how they wear other monsters as skins, and I was sold. Could you guys imagine how good this thing would look if it got the Iceborne treatment? I can just imagine my skin crawling fighting this thing with how great and lifelike they would make its movements. I mean, just look at this thing. That's nightmare fuel for any hunter brave enough to even look at it. It'd be a quick little bugger too, so it wouldn't be hard to make it a challenging but fun fight in my opinion. Then, I got to see the armor and immediately fell in love. Someone even modded it into World on PC, and it made me long for Nerscylla to make its way to the new world. And there are even a few weapons as well. Sadly, Hunting Horn is not one of them. But the weapon categories that did get a shrouded weapon are unbelievably lucky, because these things are beautiful. With all of that being said, I wouldn't mind them coming up with an entirely new bug-related monster, but I would definitely be pulling for something along the lines of a giant spider-like creature. Just picture yourself walking through the ancient forest, and then out of nowhere, a giant spider works its way down its web and ambushes you. Or, even worse, pulls a Spider-Man and swings from afar to land on you. Yeah, my skin is already crawling just from describing it. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. I'm excited for what's to come with these updates, and honestly, what's to come with Iceborne in general. We also have a festival coming up with the new update, and the layered armor looks pretty cool. I also want to keep fresh in your minds the giveaway I talked about in my last video. It'll be something as simple as making sure you're subbed and commenting on whatever the video will be, so don't worry about having to do anything too extensive. If you liked the video, please do let me know with a thumbs up. Comment down below what you think of Stygian Zinogre and what characteristics you might think the new mystery monster has. Let me know what you think about bringing big bugs into the new world as well. Subscribe if you haven't already for more Iceborne and Hunting Horn content. Have a good night and happy hunting.